If there's nothing better to do, we could go foraging for ingredients.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for Ad Astra Abyss. Ad Astra.
wonder when I'll be as tall. La da 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 da.
I hear you've got a job for me.
Come a little closer. Why not keep me company for a while? There'll be plenty of time for work later. You're in for a little
Out of the frying pan, into the...
Come a little closer.
Nice and spicy. You can't run. Out of the frying pan, into... Nice and spicy. Judgment. Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
You're in for a little shock.
You can't run. Boba, get them.
No pain, no gain.
Nice and spicy. Yeah. Yeah. You can't run. Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
try not to enjoy this too much. Oh my.
Booba, get them! Over here! Blink! Boof! Blink! Nice and spicy! Blink! Over here!
Come a little closer.
I'll protect us.
You're in.
Yeah! At the frying pan, into the fire!
You're in for a little shock.
Nice and spicy!
come a little closer.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Boba, get them! None of this will go to waste. La da 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 da.
It's nearly time for afternoon tea.
Out of the frying pan, into dance! La da 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 da. Finally. Is there time for a quick snack? I'll whip one up in no time. I wonder when I'll be... da 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 da. Race you!
Nothing but breathe my helmet.
Race you! La da 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 da. Race you!
Yeah, no worries. I'm not picky. However you do it is fine.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister. La da 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 da. Out of the frying pan.
You're in for a little shock.
Now you got to Killjoy! We've only just reached the loneliness of death.
There are a few interesting trinkets here. Huh?
Frozen. Crisp.
Let's spark things up a little.
Let's end this.
Lights out.
I will end
Come a little closer.
I slipped up. You need to hurry up.
Yeah!
This was
You're
well
in for a
done.
little shock.
Let the show begin.
Feel close to this quickly.
You're in for a little shock.
Out of the frying pan.
This
Into the
isn't
fire.
good.
What a bountiful harvest. Nice and spicy.
Don't be such a brute.
Let's dance. Booba, get them. You can't run.
That felt pretty good. There are a few interesting trinkets here.
Oh my.
Booba, get them!
Come a little closer.
Huh? Yeah! Ah! Ha! Out of the frying pan! Huh? Nice and spicy!
Come a little closer.
Huh? You can't run! Booba, get them! Go, Barbara, go! Let the show begin. Out of the frying pan!
No pain, no gain.
Nice and spicy!
You
That felt pretty good.
Booba, get them! da. La-da-da-da.
Surrendering will be gentle.
I'll protect Let the show begin.
Come a little closer.
You can't run! Let's dance! I'll protect you! Let the show begin.
Lights out. You're in for a little shock. Let's spark things up.
Nice and spicy. Oh, let's dance. Ouchie. Oh
You can't run!
Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Eat this.
Judgment!
I'll protect us. Yeah!
Lights out. Come a little closer. You're in for a little shock.
Judgment!
Nice and spicy.
Come a little closer. Come a little closer. Come a little closer.
Yeah! Let's dance. Go, Barbara, go!
You can't run! Judgment!
Surrendering.
Punishment! Yeah! You can't run!
Out of the frying pan, into the pot.
Urine, don't be such a brute. Come a little closer.
Let the show begin.
Judgment!
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate.
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Sir Rahman,
Huh?
do you see an...
Are you mocking me? What do you...
Interpret it however you want, but there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from King Deshret's civilization, the energy that flows in here is that of the Dendro Arch.
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a...
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an academic journey.
It does seem kinda strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore this.
Race you! Race you!
You can't run!
Boba, get them! Ha! Race you! Nice and spicy!
You're in for a little shock.
Judgment! Shiver! Yeah! Out of the frog pit, into the fire! Help! Leader is attacking me!
Try not to enjoy this.
Judgment! Nice and spicy. I'll protect us.
Come a little closer. You're in for a...
You can't run. Boba, that really...
Come a little closer.
Now that's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
It's getting brighter. Oh, it looks so beautiful.
Wait. What's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
These are King Deshret runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient King Deshret.
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life. Is it trying?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No, impossible.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So the former Dendro Archon and King Deshret were never enemies at all.
But this doesn't make any sense. The Dendro Archon's followers, they're clearly...
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became so tiny in the end.
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last word.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. We refused to believe any of the rumors. King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization, it was all Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans, fighting.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, how could I ever begin?
Rahman, give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool.
My Eremites and I, what are we even fighting for?
Hey, how you doing?
I should probably...
What's your next move gonna be?
But please...
It's not gonna be...
Well, I guess that's for me to...
When would be a good time?
Tomorrow, and I'll...
You seem to finally understand.
Yes.
That must have been rough. But
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret. But now that that's changed...
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
we should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice, long sleep. Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Is this my final job?
Raman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keepers back to Aru village shortly.
I guess all I can say now is thanks for agreeing to help.
Don't mention it. I think we can both agree you went to hell and back for it. But we share a common cause now. From here on out, we're allies.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them. Follow me.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you.
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no.
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turned pale like they've seen a ghost.
You should have known that I would be coming.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all.
No, not Sino.
I could.
Please have.
Start talk.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently. Why? What are they trying to accomplish?
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
I really don't know how to explain it.
Well, you better start talking or you'll be sorry.
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything. You're serious.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sum. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far, but the withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facility. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression, he asked them, do you wish to create a god?
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's with the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency. They were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis and convert it into a divine core. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine or...
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's madness for centuries. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher.
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge, and it is as if they are cursed with a desire for some organ.
Then what does Lesser... Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god, why try to create another one?
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But upon evaluation, they found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Ruka Devata had indeed passed away. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's Gnosis has been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
All right, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery. Rahman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these two
Sure, as you wish.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The 2 new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too. Really great work, everyone.
The atmosphere is so heavy. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about?
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
Oh, Paimon!
Do you have any plans, Traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels super surreal to hear you talk about it again.
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Rahman's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense. We cannot allow it.
So, everyone, are we on the same page?
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what...
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out.
Everyone is already waiting inside.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's...
Please, wait a moment. Before attending the meeting, I hope you can promise me one thing.
What do you need?
Promise me that you won't commit to anything too reckless.
What do you think?
Okay.
Race you! Ugh. Everyone's here so early! But why isn't anybody talking?
We already discussed things a bit.
Hey, where have you been? I've missed you too.
Are you ready?
Very well.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
I gotta admit, it's bold. Color me impressed.
It's worth a try.
The point of discussion is to arrive at a solution. Let's cut the small talk and move to the next point.
You're making Paimon nervous.
You're finally done.
I have some other stuff to take care of. Catch you all later. Come on, don't give me that face. I know what you're going to say. I'll be careful.
That's what I wanted to hear. Take care. Well, Traveler, Paimon, judging from your expressions, the meeting must have been quite productive.
You can tell?
I'm not that good at scheming or strategy, but I can sense people's emotions. And based on your reaction, things must have gone quite well.
Paimon's a little worried. Hopefully nothing will go wrong.
To be honest, I feel the same. But you're already some of the most capable people I know. So you have my trust.
Candace gave us a compliment.
Your deeds speak for themselves.
Candace, we stayed behind to tell you that, although you won't be coming with us, we'll be sure to remember your words.
I'm very glad to hear that. I've said the same thing to everyone here today as I said to you when you arrived. Your safety is the most important thing. Only when you're safe can the plan be successful. So please, take care. You're welcome. Good luck. With every...
Sounds good. I'll go make some preparations.
Okay.
I'll hit them!
Have you finished saying your goodbyes?
Yeah! Also, Candace told everyone to be careful.
Yes, she did. But I think my point also bears repeating. Our plan is not child's play. We won't be able to achieve anything if we're simply careful. We must go beyond that and fully commit ourselves to it. I hope this is clear to you.
Huh? Shouldn't you be saying something more cheerful to boost our morale?
Didn't we already do that during the meeting?
You can never have enough words of encouragement.
In that case, Candace can cuddle you to your heart's content while I continue to remind you of the seriousness of our We all have our jobs to do, after all.
Speaking of the front lines, you don't look anything like a soldier.
Of course. Compared to the mercenaries, I'm merely a feeble scholar. But the advantage of not being a mercenary is that I get to stay in a safer place and offer my strategic insight. Just think about that mercenary who lost his mind. Mercenary groups are facing constant danger every single—
Well, being a scholar is also a high-risk occupation, and you are
I'm not like the rest of them. Even among members of the same species, some will exhibit far more potential.
this guy. Paimon still remembers when those mercenaries in Port Ormos called you a
All intellectuals are lunatics in the eyes of fools. Do you remember the record we saw in the King Deshret ruins? It mentioned forbidden knowledge. You have a good memory. Forbidden knowledge has the power to drive people insane, but this fact has never been shared with the public. Even I, who has worked in the academia for some time, was never once informed of this. I think those mad scholars and mercenaries we encountered may have all fallen victim to the corrupting qualities of forbidden knowledge. But the academia has always held a different view. They have always believed that symptoms of madness are a side effect of human contact with divine knowledge as mere mortals. Come to think of it, the Withering, Elazar, and the Sandstorms. Don't you think what is happening right now across Sumeru is rather similar to the forbidden knowledge pollution that occurred in the desert thousands of years ago?
But Paimon thought that Irminsul's disease is what caused the withering in the sandstorm. At least, that's what Tainari took. Wait a second.
Ah, you've connected the dots. The cause of Irminsul's illness may precisely be the pollution from forbidden knowledge.
But if that's the case, what should we do? This is huge!
Wait. Why do you think Lesser Lord Kusanali would have a solution to this situation?
You mean, it's related to the scene you saw when you passed out in the Avidia forest? That whole, the world forget me thing?
In that case, it's imperative that we rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali. Only by working with her to save Irminsul can we completely resolve the problems Sumeru currently— To make sure we're still on track, I would like to check on the state of some of our preparatory work.
Where are we going?
To an Eremite base.